Fuck. What time is it?
It's a wonderful day to rob a bank, maybe even two. It's a wonderful day to start a gang made of me and you. When Christmas comes, everybody's having fun, and no one's ever expecting that a heist is being brewed.
This year was a great year for VR players like myself. And by good, I mean we got Bone Lab and then spent the rest of our time in VR mods made by beautiful people who love the medium so much they attempt to put their favorite games into it. The Flat to VR Discord server is filled with many of those people, and due to that, many of those mods. And while I didn't get to play all of them, like Firewatch and Stanley Parable for example, two I really want to play, I want to talk about a couple of the ones I did to celebrate a new year. And to put out a video, because I don't want to work on the Half-Life 2 video right now, I'm sorry, I'm lazy. We'll be talking about 4 VR mods here today. The Half-Life 1 VR mod, the Resident Evil 2 VR mod, the Half-Life 2 VR mod, for at least a little bit. I'm still working on its standalone video. And last but definitely not least, the Left 4 Dead 2 VR mod. So let's start with Half-Life 1. The Half-Life 1 VR mod developed by Max Makes Mods is pretty fun. But it's also the one I spent the least amount of time in because it's fucking Half-Life 1, which is a game I do not find very fun to play at all. It's a very janky piece of work. While being a good game, I can admit, I just do not enjoy myself when playing it, especially in VR. The mod itself is really good for what they were able to do in Gold Source, but it has its own issues that make me nauseous and uncomfortable. It's made for a very specific type of person. If anything, it makes me wish for a full-on Black Mesa mod even more now. It's a shame that'll probably never happen. I recommend the Half-Life 1 VR mod to people who really enjoy the game and can handle the jankiness of the mod itself. I'm sure it would be a really fun time for someone that isn't me. Okay, let us pass by the VR mod I put in here to pad the runtime and get to the mods I really like.
Resident Evil 2.
Resident Evil 2 is a fantastic game. And thanks to the VR mod made by PreyDog, it's an actual work of art. RE Framework adds VR support to not only Resident Evil 2, but every modern Resident Evil game, starting with 7. It adds full motion control support for both hands, a full IK body that moves with you, which adds to immersion because it's not physics-based, fucking Bone Lab. All of the guns work perfectly in VR. Just remember to disable aim assist if you're playing on lower difficulties, because it'll hinder the VR aiming. The whole game is completely playable. In fact, every modern Resident Evil game is completely playable. RE7, RE2, RE3, RE Village, and hopefully sooner rather than later, the Resident Evil 4 remake. Because Capcom, while their VR ports are amazing, just don't have the level of immersion and support that PreyDog's RE Framework has. I'd recommend this VR mod to anybody who wants to see Resident Evil through new eyes. I haven't played any of them other than RE2, but hey, maybe it'll actually make RE3 worth $40. Okay, now let's talk about the VR mod I liked so much, I had the stones to call the video I'm making about it Half-Life 2 is the perfect VR game. Which is a title I refuse to change, even after I've been proven wrong by yet another VR mod. Half-Life 2 VR, a VR mod made by the Source VR mod team, is a nearly flawless experience. Everything about it is just perfect. In some cases, I'd say it's even better than Valve's actual VR Half-Life game. Hitting things feels amazing, shooting things feels amazing, The game has full VR hand tracking in both hands, gunplay akin to Half-Life Alyx with a manual reload system that adds to immersion in a very smooth way. The best part about VR mods is that they're built to be compatible with most of the base game's existing mods, and Half-Life 2, while unsupporting most custom levels, still supports most HD graphic overhauls, making it very easy to make the game not only feel like Half-Life Alyx, but look like it too. If you have a good PC, that is. This mod is the reason I beat Half-Life 2, and I cannot wait for the Episode 1 and 2 mods set to release in the first quarter of the next year, and eventually their Portal overhaul as well. These devs have some serious potential, and I'm excited for a future with them in it. Remember when I said there was a VR mod that made me change my mind about Half-Life 2 being the perfect VR game?
Guitar here. Yeah,
Second
I'm taking
pistol.
the shotgun. Okay, I'm queuing up the finale. Everybody ready?
Ain't no shame in getting some help.
Oh yeah. The Left 4 Dead VR mod, created by Chem, or on GitHub SD805. This human being, this person, has created the best VR experience I have ever welcomed into my eyeballs. This mod, I love this mod so much. This mod has made me love the Left 4 Dead series more than the Half-Life series, to be completely honest. The amount of immersion in the game already. This game takes place in the real world, not a false world like Half-Life or Portal. In Left 4 Dead, those are games. And this is where the workshop really helps out the game itself. By looking through the workshop, you can find countless mods that are dedicated to putting real products into the world that Valve weren't able to add themselves. And it brings the immersion up to levels Valve never even thought it could reach. Walking through a hospital, seeing a Pepsi vending machine, entering a house's living room, the TV's been left on mid-video game. Consoles line the shelves of this family's house that has most likely been destroyed by the green flu. The lights turned off because these families are fully expecting to return to their homes, having no idea what is happening, completely oblivious to the horrors of this upcoming apocalypse. Basically, what I'm trying to say is corporations suck, but they make my game feel more real. Now, unfortunately, this mod isn't nearly as in-depth as the Half-Life 2 VR mod. I mean, you don't even have two hands. Please, Dev, add a dummy hand that doesn't do anything, please. In the base mod, your entire character view model is attached to your dominant hand, which means both of your hands in-game are attached to a single hand. This is mostly fixed by a mod on the workshop that makes your character view arms nothing but a right hand. It's a simple mod created by Gox. All the characters except for Zoe work the last I checked. Something to fix this simple problem would be not only to have this workshop mod on at all times, but also maybe create a dummy hand that doesn't do anything other than look pretty. Or maybe have it work like Half-Life 2, where it's exclusively to add stability to the weapons. I'm not asking for manual reloads, and in fact, I don't believe this game would be nearly as fun with them. Unless you give the player a big window for error like they do in Half-Life Alyx. What's here is bare bones, but it still wins as the best VR experience I have ever had. All of these mods are absolutely incredible and technically impressive. The fact that Max Makes Mods was able to have full-on motion-controlled VR in Gold Source is baffling. The fact that PreyDog was able to make every RE Engine Resident Evil game have full VR support, including IK bodies, with one general framework is baffling. The level of detail and amount of attention from the Source VR team is baffling. And the sheer amount of added immersion Chem's currently bare bones VR port for Left 4 Dead is, you guessed it. I am baffled that so many games have such dedicated people who just so happen to be in the VR community, making experiences that can compete and in some cases even improve on official releases. I recommend these. If you have a VR headset and are on the fence about these ports, play them. Play them all. They're so beautiful and impressive, you'll come out glad you did. I promise. In the meantime, this is where I get off. I gotta go play some more Left 4 Dead 2 VR. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you're excited for the standalone Half-Life 2 video that'll come out sometime next year. I appreciate your existence, and I wish you the greatest of days. Bye-bye!